Yo,
Yo,
hit it where it hurts at its finest. How's everyone doing?
what is up? What is up? Thank you for coming back to another day of Hit It Where It Hurts. If you don't know, or if you're new here, if you've been living under a shell, this is a podcast we speak through small business owners struggles. We get guests on from all around the world, people who have been chasing their dream, people who are just starting to chase their dream. And we try to give information about our life and how to do it based on experience and also what we've learned.
100%. And we just give you all the
Golden nuggets.
What's going up with that? You got me right there.
Literally.
We give you literally the blueprint to life, whether you're in business, whether you're at school, whether you're just in the middle of the desert. We're coming to you live, giving you all the shit that you need right now.
That's exactly right. And today we're going to be talking about something we feel is very important, something that leads people to the wrong. Stop calling me. Something that keeps people on the right track, and that is entitlement. A lot of people think they're entitled to their customers. A lot of people think their customers have to buy from them. A lot of people think that if they spend 7 hours on editing a video, that video is going to be 100% million views, right?
Yeah.
It's really not like that. Now, the reason why entitlement is such an important topic and we've decided to talk about it today is because sometimes talking from an objective standpoint about people's lives, it helps them to apply it to their life, because we're not speaking to anyone specifically. We're speaking to everyone, including ourselves, that we aren't entitled to being successful. We aren't entitled to you guys to come watch this podcast. We have to work day in and day out to keep that attention, to keep providing value. And the problem is, and the reason why this is such a big topic is because people, maybe they earn their first customer, right, Mark? They earn their first customer. Maybe they earn their first grand. Maybe they get their first 1,000 viewers. And then they start to think that they're entitled to more. You have to work from the point that you started to the point that you halfway, even at the end, like you just started. Every day should be another battle for you. You should
100%.
never feel like you're entitled to the money. You're entitled to everything. Right?
You're not entitled to anything. You're only entitled to whatever you get, to whatever you earn. Like people out there, like if you think you're entitled to something, if you think that you deserve something, honestly, you're not. Because if you're not out there chasing that and you're not working for it, then you're literally not entitled to it.
100%. And it's like, bro, the thing is about life is that the people that think they're entitled start to drop their work ethic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They start to think, bro, I'm the fucking best. Like, I'm the best. Like, everyone should be listening to me.
Yeah.
But no, it's more like I put my effort. This was a product of my effort, and this is rightfully what is meant to happen, right? I think everyone gets exactly what work. Like, yeah, there's shortcuts. Yeah, sometimes things are unfair, but where you are in your life is because of you. Yeah, sometimes you're not entitled to a better life until you work for it.
Definitely.
You're entitled to everything that logically leads to the other thing. You work hard, you're entitled to getting results of that working hard. Maybe that's posting a video. But to talk about other people's entitlement to you, it's nothing. And I think a lot of people get disappointed when they hear this, because when you have high expectations of people, high expectations of the market, and high expectations of where you deserve to be, and you don't reach there, then that's when you get disappointed. For me, it's like no expectation, no disappointment. I don't expect anything from anyone in this world.
100%.
I don't even expect us to succeed. But I know if we work hard, that it's likely to happen. It doesn't mean I'm entitled to it.
No.
And I think that's the main difference.
I have a quote for you which I really love, right? Yeah. And it's like, entitlement is a delusion built on self-centeredness and laziness. And that just hits different, because it's the people who always think, oh, like they deserve this, they deserve that, this is for them. That's the people that you see always complaining about not succeeding, about not making it, like saying, oh, like, why isn't this part of my business working? Because that's the people that are lazy, that like that stay in bed the whole day and then expect their business to work out just out of the blue. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna, like, miracles don't happen. Like miracles don't just happen, right? You gotta work for it to actually happen. That's a miracle in itself.
And even when you work, if you don't work in the right way, it doesn't matter. No one cares about the time you put in. No one cares if it's not right. No one.
Yeah.
If the market doesn't care, no one cares, right? That's the
Yeah,
reality.
100%.
And I think the problem with entitlement is that, like, let's talk, like, give a really like realistic example. You know how girls always like say that relationships aren't the same as what they were when they first started to where they are now. And mostly, like, shout out to all the girls in the chat. Maybe they can relate. They always say the same thing, right? You know what they say? They say that the guy, he stops trying to date, like, he stops doing what he did when he first got them to date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, relationships always end up like that. Like, why aren't you opening the car door for me anymore? Right? Why aren't you taking me out on dates anymore? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And it's because it's entitlement. They feel like now that they're in a relationship that they're entitled to love, right?
100%.
And it's the same with business. It's the exact same, in that when you work hard, you feel like you're entitled to be credited for that working hard. But that's why we had episodes about the journey. That's why we talk about we're 0.01% of where we want to be, because we know whatever work we do now, we don't know what's going to happen to it. We don't expect people to like it. If it's good, they'll like it. If it's not, they won't. I'm not entitled. I'm like, honestly, like, we're not entitled, you know? And I think that's where most people fail with their business, because they start to, like, for example, they start to see their sales falling, and instead of looking within themselves and within their own actions, they start to question the market. You can't question the market. The market will question you.
100%.
You really can't question the market.
It's literally like this, bro. Like, the people that always think that they deserve something or are entitled to to something, it always leads to literally disappointment, because they never end up getting it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because as much as they go on thinking, oh, I'm gonna get this because I'm entitled to this, they never end up getting it. And so in that sense, like, they stop trying because they know that they're just gonna fail. And that's what causes a lot of businesses nowadays to just fail.
And let's talk about it for our business, right? Like, favors are very different in business. Like,
100%.
How many people have done favors for you but then expect it back? That's entitlement, right? When we get on someone to promote them, we don't expect anything of them except that they show up. That's it. That's basically, and even that, like, fair enough, can't make it, whatever, right? It's like, but we're not sitting there like, oh, okay, so we get you on the podcast, but we're not going to tell you, but we expect you to shout us out. Like, it's not like that, right? And business now has changed in the way that no one wants to do things genuinely anymore.
Yeah.
And then when people don't get it back, they make excuses. Oh, you know, like, he wasn't good enough, or oh, like, he didn't do this right. The market didn't perform like that. And it's really not like that, right? Like, where has this feeling of genuine favors gone?
And we've seen it. We've seen it throughout a lot of businesses, whether it's like big corporate businesses or small businesses. It's there everywhere. You can see it literally everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's like I just don't understand why people have strayed away from this idea of doing favors for people or being genuine and, like, doing things out of the goodness of their heart, right?
Yeah.
It's like people always expect something back,
100%.
right? So when entrepreneurs start their business and they feel like they're putting everything into it and they're having sleepless nights and they're fucking having to avoid meeting up with people and they're cracking friendships and all that, they're like, man, someone recognized me. You know, someone tell me that what I'm doing is right. Someone show me, someone put a value to it, but it doesn't happen, right? And then they're chasing that, like, never ending entitlement fucking riddle in their head.
Yeah.
And that's why they stop, because they never got that entitlement that they think they deserve, but you don't deserve anything.
You know what I saw today? I saw something really beautiful, and it touches on this topic. It was this guy that does, like, I don't know what he does some sort of businesses online and shit. And he said, when you work for years and you fail endlessly, and then on the 5th year you make it, and that's the power of not giving up. 100%. And this is where people, like, that think that they're entitled, they go on for the 4 years believing, oh, I deserve this, why am I not getting this, that, 100%. And then they end up just, when they don't get what they're looking for, they give up. And at that time, it's like, if you really continued on pursuing what you were pursuing, you would have got there.
Made it.
Yeah.
I understand. And bro, let's talk about it in social media perspective, right? Because that's what we're all here about.
Yeah.
The algorithm. How many fucking influencers? My video didn't pop off because the algorithm didn't work. No, your video didn't pop off because no one gave a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Right? They post like some shitty 3-second video that they put barely any effort into, but because their last videos have gotten millions, they think they're entitled to getting millions on that video. That's not gonna happen, right?
No, yeah.
Same with posting consistently. If you stop posting daily, you're not gonna be entitled to people coming back because you're not providing the same value that you promised to provide daily, right?
Yeah.
The algorithm is not the problem. You're the problem. You can't blame the circumstances, right? And like, yeah, I know you took offense.
No. I just thought of something good, bro. Like, we don't touch on this, right? But look at OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
They're always thinking they're entitled to something. Yeah. And we'll take it from a business perspective because OnlyFans is a business.
It's a business.
Yeah. So the girls that don't end up doing good in the industry, right? Yeah. They're always saying, "Oh, the celebrities that are in the industry are getting pushed more." It's because right. You know what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to like put a shade on that or like anything, but you got to figure it. Like, it's same with any business, right? I don't want to talk a lot about this, but
let's talk about it. I'll go on.
Yeah.
Because in OnlyFans, right? I'm gonna explain what OnlyFans is. If you don't know what OnlyFans is, don't look it up. In OnlyFans, if you're in the top 0.2%, you get access to like discounts, you get access to a bunch of shit. And you also get that little tag that says you're in the top 0.2%. But if you don't have that, then you can't share that on Snapchat. So they're saying, oh, the girls that are in the top 0.2% are able to flex their achievements, blah, blah, blah. But they got there legit. Like, they worked for it. You know what I mean? Like, what makes you so entitled, you know?
By the way, we're not sponsored by OnlyFans, just so you know.
Unfortunately, not yet. But like, and like it's because the reason why entitlement is so important in social media is because people have made videos for years and have been really good, and then they've done something really fucking wrong, and they've changed their video pattern, and they really lost all their viewers, and they start to blame YouTube, and they start contacting YouTube, like millionaires that have made it on YouTube. You've seen it, like,
I've seen it, bro.
FouseyTube. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's talk Roman Atwood. Let's talk all these people who went from 45 million views and more to 800k.
Like Vitaly and shit as well. Yeah.
Adam Saleh, bro. The list goes on. We listed a bunch of Arabs. The list goes on, right?
Yeah.
PewDiePie even is dropping in views, right? And it's because their content isn't where it was. And when you're ignorant to the fact the market doesn't care about what you think you're entitled to, then that's when you start to fail. And this is basically like a wake-up call for anyone that doesn't matter how much work you put into, doesn't matter what you do, no one cares in the market. We're not talking from a moral perspective. Of course we care. Like, we appreciate everyone. I love everyone chasing their dream, right? And you know, like, fucking love that. But in terms of the market and what you expect of your consumers, if your expectations are even there in the minimalist, and you've already lost, right?
And like, this doesn't only apply to people just starting out or like small businesses and shit like that. This is like, we're talking about people that have made it up there, like the YouTubers with like 10+ million subscribers. Like, it gets to the head that they, look where I am right now. I've made it. I'm entitled to all this shit. This shit, I deserve this. That's why, like, I'm up here now. I'm gonna be getting all these views. But no, when you stop giving the value that you are providing at the start of your journey, then you're not gonna get the same results. And that's how it is with everything. No matter where you are, if you're just starting out and you're building a following, and then you get to, and then you make it and you're at the top now, and then you stop providing the same value you're providing before, you're gonna see people stop following you. Not just like, not follow you on socials, but like follow you just like in person, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And just really quick, shout out to the viewers, guys. If you have like a situation where you thought someone is really entitled and it's led to their downfall, let us know in the chat. By the way, hello Britt, hello to everyone in the viewers. So anyway, like, that's the thing, right? And I think it's because it's common in entrepreneurship because of the rate of the work that we go at. But let's talk normal business. How many people do you know that say to their, like, that say to you but not to their boss that, oh, I deserve a raise, right? But they don't do anything. Like, they don't go tell their boss, oh, I'm working hard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working hard. Like, where's my obviously not in that way. Like, there's better ways to do it. Like, you could speak to your boss about moving up in the company and stuff. But
I just got an example, bro.
Yeah, tell me.
That is, guys. When Mark was working at a car wash, he was the shittest car wash employee, and he asked his boss for like the most unrealistic raise ever.
It was a big raise. It was a big raise.
This is the definition of entitlement, and you're looking at him right here. Don't be like Mark. That's what I'm gonna say.
I didn't complain. I went straight up to him. I said, "Listen, like, bro, 25 a car, bro. What am I?" Anyway, I went up to him. I'm like, "Bro, listen." I'm like, I'm working my ass off, man. Like, I'm driving the car. I'm literally doing it all alone, and no water. It's a waterless car wash. All right. It was more, Mark. It was more workout than you've ever done in your whole life. Sit your ass down, bro. Sit it.
Don't talk shit, man. Man's got injuries in that.
Yeah, fair enough. But, yeah, I went up to him and I'm like, look, like, honestly, like, I'm not enjoying my work. Like, I'm working at a rate that I don't think I'm. I think.
But isn't that entitlement? You think you're entitled to it, but you're already getting paid above the minimum wage. So in a way, that's you're thinking you're entitled to something.
It works a bit different because that's your boss. That's not the market.
Yeah, right? but still, we're like saying this to everyone in any industry there, whether it's a 9 to 5 or a business.
But I think you're a product of your work as well, right? If you're putting in the hard yards and you're not getting paid for it, then that doesn't mean that's not necessarily entitlement. That's just being realistic, right?
Yeah.
But like when I'm talking, like the main point of entitlement is when you're talking about the market, right? And it's like, but when I'm speaking about 9 to 5, it's like they think the boss is gonna do it by himself. You know what I mean? There's a big difference between you speaking to your boss about the work that you're putting in and your boss just straight away hitting you up and being like, yeah, bro, you got a raise. And they think it's going to happen.
Oh, like
so they work every day. Yeah. That it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like thinking they deserve it, but instead not taking action on it.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That their rate of work is dropping because they feel like they're entitled. Because if an employee and yeah, like I guess that's them being entitled in a way, but it works a bit different because if an employee is working at a good rate, right?
Yeah.
But then another employee is working at a better rate and they feel like they're being underpaid because one employee is being paid this and doing less work than them, then that's just maths of time, effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think in that way it's different. But I'm talking about the people that like hate their job.
I see.
They work there and they think they're entitled to getting a raise if they don't do anything.
Yeah.
You're just another number at the end of the day. If you're not going to make a change, if you're not going to have a meeting with your boss, if you're not going to express anything, then how are they going to know, right? Like, it's all about making those changes in life. And it's like, yeah, like it is like, obviously there's like fine lines between entitlement and obviously knowing what you're worth. I think very fine lines. But the main point is that you can't think everything the world will give you what you think you deserve. Right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No one deserves anything in this world. Period. That's the way I see it personally. Like at the very least for me, I expect people to respect me. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I expect. I don't get it often though, right? So like even that as an expectation for me is like not really. Like, I'm not entitled to anyone's respect. I have to earn everyone's respect, right? And yeah, like it's a good way of thinking when you're especially running a business.
Let's tell them how they can fix such thing. Like if the people out there, if you're always thinking you're entitled to something, there's ways to fix this. Like
for sure.
Mark always mentions taking things into perspective, right? So like put things into perspective, like practice that. Just see how things are around you, and then think again. Like, okay, now I got to question myself: am I really entitled to this now? You know what I'm saying?
It comes down to self-awareness as well.
100%.
You're so minuscule in the whole market. I've said this before on the podcast, but I'll say it again for all the new viewers. There is more content being produced in one day in 2021 than there was in the whole 1980s to 1990s to 2000s. One day has covered about 30 years of content, right? And did you want me to address Noor's comment?
Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah. Entitlement is listening to the feedback provided by your customers. You will not like the negative feedback. In fact, no one likes negative feedback. But there is a difference between the ones that change their business to fit the demands of their customers. Bang. and the ones feeling entitled to not change their business to fit their customers' demand because they have great fame or profit. Bang, that's it. You hit it on the head. All those YouTubers, they think because they're good, bro. They have their house, they're millionaires.
Yeah.
Bro, fuck it. We don't need an expensive vlog camera. We don't need to put effort. We don't need to have high energy in our videos, right? Because they have the fan base.
Yeah.
I'm in the market. The market doesn't give a fuck, right? And I love how Noor said the right way. And like, this is like the other side of it. This is how you attack it, is that you change, you adapt to your consumer's feedback.
Yeah.
You don't blame the consumer. Customize king. Content is king, right? The same way we say customize king in like, so like retail and other businesses. In social media, we say content is king, right? Because the content runs it all. The content is what the market sees.
And you know who's a good example of the change?
Who?
Mr. Beast. Like, anything he does is to what people expect from him. It's what he puts out, what people want to see. So he invests a lot of money into his videos. That's the thing that a lot of YouTubers before he came to this extent weren't doing. And now all these YouTubers are looking at him and they're like, shit, maybe he's unlocked a secret. And now they're doing the same thing.
100%. And if you guys watch the Logan Paul podcast, which I know everyone hates Logan Paul, but he was on it and he was speaking about it, and he spends 4 million per YouTube video, but he makes more, to be fair.
Of course. But, you got to invest to make.
But there was a point where he was spending 4 million and he wasn't at that many viewers. I remember he wasn't at that many viewers, and he was still spending not 4 mil, but he was spending more than what he thought he was going to gain, right? Just to get the content out. And now he's at a point where he could spend all he fucking wants, and he still makes it back, right? And I think it's just so important, because people, don't you realize, like, I don't know, like when you watch people's content over time, it gradually gets worse. Things aren't meant to be like that. Musicians, they stop putting effort into their music. They stop appealing to their customers, right? They start doing their own shit. They start feeling like they're entitled to the views. They're entitled to the money, right? And that's where businesses fail the most. And I think self-awareness, we can't do another video on self-awareness. I wish we could, because I love self-awareness. Self-awareness and perspective ties into entitlement so much, you know, like to know that you're so like, it's like I said, it's 3 different things. It's knowing you're invaluable in the whole scheme of things, that you're just another person. Okay. In the middle, you know what you're providing is valuable because you believe in it yourself, right? And the third thing is that the market does not care about you. Once you come to terms with all those 3 things, and you no longer feel entitled, but you feel realistic. You feel like what you do and the results you get is the product of the work you do.
Also, have you? Let me ask you a question, right? And then I'll go on from there. Have you seen the pattern between like successful people and unsuccessful people?
What is it?
All right, so a lot of successful people are the ones that come from refugee families, like people that are like people that are like in poverty, shit like that. You know what I mean? And then they just push through and make it, because that's the people. And let me give you the this is how it's gonna
bring up a very good point.
Let me give you the opposite of entitlement, and Gary Vee talks about it a lot, and that's adversity. See, now that's the people who use adversity to level up, the ones that come from refugee families and underprivileged worlds, because that's the people who know that they are not entitled to anything because they've been through the shits, right? So they take it upon themselves to go through the shit, to work hard and then make it. Whereas the people who always think they're entitled, that's the people out there who are living comfortably in a house, who have money coming in, who's got daddy's money, mommy's money, and shit like that. 100%. You know what I mean?
Just speaking fast. Like shout out to the kids who try to run a business but get their whole car bought for them, right? They get like a CLA 250 bought for them, and then they try to run a business. It's never gonna go well. But like, I'm not saying you can't change, but from what we've seen, and from the people who start shit once, twice, 3 times, they work on it for a few days, they're like, nah, I didn't get any views on that post. Shut it down, boy. Shut it down. Like, obviously, the market's just not working. Instagram's not working. Snapchat's not working. TikTok's not working. Bro, TikTok. How many people complain about not being on the For You page? Bro, make your videos more interesting. You'll end up on the For You page. Give
100%.
relevant content.
Yeah.
Change your content for once, right? And I'll just address Noor's comment.
There you go.
Another example of success is the US. The US is the most successful economy in the world. Is it? Isn't it like kind of?
Yeah, I was thinking on it today as well. Like I was just sitting in bed and like I was like, shit, like what country is the biggest in all the industries and shit? And it's actually America.
Yeah, the US is the most successful economy in the world, and it was made by refugees and migrants. Yeah, exactly. And that's because they never had anything. They can't be entitled to anything because they never had anything, right? When you're living on the street, poor, broke, you know what you're entitled to? Waking up, bro. That's it. And even that is on risk. So when you like, it makes sense. The trends make sense when you're objective, and everything seems so far away from you until you work for it. You're gonna have better work habits. Yeah. And I think cheap labor.
I don't know that. I don't know.
I think he's just trying to finish the sentence.
I think people need to understand two things. They need to switch the entitlement with humbleness. They need to switch that. And that way they're gonna see the world differently, and they're gonna see themselves succeed in a whole different way.
For sure. Yeah. And I think like we don't mean to be rude or mean to people, and we don't want to talk about kids who got their cars bought for them. My dad chipped in for my car. So it's like, no, seriously, like I.
But you paid him back.
Huh? Yeah. I did, yeah. But like, what's it called? Like, it's like, it's not what happens; it's what you do with it.
Yeah.
We're talking people that are rich, that try to do shit after their parents have given them everything, right? Because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. Parents build it up for them.
100%.
Right? The way you're raised shows the habits in your business.
Yeah.
The habits in the way you do things.
Yeah.
If every single fucking day you're given money by your parents, and then, you know, like every day, even the days that you do nothing. Let's talk school. When you're giving a participation award for going to the fucking the Olympics for school.
Yeah.
Athletics or something.
Athletic, yeah.
A participation award. What the fuck is that, man? Do I get a participation award with a client when I can't make one sale with them? Do they say, you tried, no, bro, it's all right, I love you? No, bro, no, it doesn't happen, right? And so it starts from school, really. It starts from parenting, school, and then you go out in the real world and realize no one is entitled to anything. And that's the main point we want to get across today.
100%. And you know, there's some things that I love about some actors and famous people out there. Yeah. When they're in interviews, they get asked questions like, how much entitlement, and I've seen it in some interviews, how much entitlement and shit have you given to your kids? Or like do you give your money to your kids? Or like when you pass away, is your kids gonna like have all your money? And they say, first of all, we want our kids to go through what we went, so they can understand the power of adversity, the power of making it on their own. Because when you get money, right, without working for it, then you're always going to think, oh, you're entitled to that money, you deserve that money. But that is the wrong way. And yeah, that's all we wanted to get to.
One thing we are entitled to is all the new viewers, since I know we have heaps, make sure you go like, follow, subscribe, all the social media. No, I'm joking. Like if you guys enjoy the content for real, make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe, and put the notification thing on so you know when we're live, because I know a few of you miss it. But it's like like, you know, it's a fine line. Like I know we're fully on the entitlement side. There's always the other side as well, where you have to know your worth as well. And I don't want to degrade that. I don't want to minimize that. You still have to know your worth. But it's just a degree of it's like I said, it's you have to balance all three, knowing your worth and knowing you're not entitled to anything at the exact same time. And it's like finding that median in the middle, which I think Gary Vee does really well, and all the famous entrepreneurs do it really well. And as we're coming up to wrap the episode, I just want to know.
Before you wrap up, I had something else. And
go for it.
To everyone out there that's listening, when we talk about topics like this, we're talking from experience. Because for a long time, and I'll say this from my experience, I don't know for Mark, but I felt entitled. I felt like, oh, I deserve to get like followers on Instagram for Zorus Media. Like I'm entitled to like all this success, but I wasn't putting in the work, right? But then as I started putting in the work, I saw that come in. And
100%.
sometimes we just gotta sit back and then look from the outside. You know what I mean? Look outside the box and see what we're doing.
Perspective.
Yeah, perspective. Exactly.
Every single episode we talk about the reason we are the way we are, and the reason we talk the way we do is because we have perspective. It's not easy. It's hard to look at yourself outside and then really get a big picture of where you are in the world.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that we're two kids from the northern suburbs in Melbourne trying to start a business. That's reality, right? That's reality. You know, this podcast is 1 in a million. And Vanessa said so many people have offered me opportunities just like that. I've said I will feel better if I earn them. For sure. That's it. Like that's really what it is. And just as we're coming to wrapping up, guys, please ask any questions you guys have. Like, we talk about sensitive topics here, and I know we're harsh, but that's because that's how harsh we are on ourselves, and I think it helps us. So in the same, like I've always said this on the podcast, right? That the things that I say, the things that you say, are the things we wish people told us when we were growing up.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though I did get it a lot, I just didn't listen. To be honest, I just didn't listen. I always felt like I was entitled, bro.
Don't be like Mark, kids. Don't be like
Mark, bro. Don't be like Mark.
You grow and learn as people. Yeah, 100%. Vanessa said you grow and learn as people, and that is how it is. Like, you need to go through the mistakes.
Yeah, like when we criticize people, criticize parents, criticize kids, criticize all that, it's like we know that you guys can change. That's why we say it. If we didn't know you would change, we'd just laugh at you. Like, look at that kid, bro. He got his cardboard for never make it. No, you can. You just have to understand that it won't be like that in the real world. And no one cares how rich your family is, you know?
All right, guys. Well, we're at the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic. I know some of you have been checking us out on Twitch, so make sure you go there and you follow us so you can always get notified where we're on there. From next week, we're going to be going exclusively live only on Twitch on some of the days. So make sure you go on there, you follow that. And yeah. What, you have anything else to say, Mark?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys all for coming. I know we had a lot of new faces. I know I'm getting a lot of messages. I'll reply to them in a sec. Thank you so much to everyone who comes every single day. We love you all. We just want to provide value. And let me end it with Vanessa's comment. It's all constructive criticism because we believe in everyone's potential. That's exactly it.
Facts.
We know you're all worth more.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. We're live every single night at 8:30